Chad. What's going on, man?
What is up, Mr. Charles? Mr. Dwayne Charles. Sorry.
Where are you at?
How
You're
we
in your
doing?
pickup?
I am, man. I've got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old back at the house, so I drove out to the bayou, typically where I hunt, and only place I can get some peace and quiet. So here I am.
Bayou. Very nice, very nice. No bayous in Waxahachie, Texas, unfortunately. So we do have a restaurant called Tajin where I can get some crawfish for a good price. That's
That's what
actually
I'm talking about.
good. But other than
You're gonna
that,
have to
man,
make
that's
a trip
about all we
down
got.
here, man, and come get some real crawfish. You know how it is. Look,
Hey,
look.
hey, no, no,
I'm.
this place, these people are legit, dude. I know real
I got you.
crawfish and they are legit. But
I got you.
but yeah, it's fresher when it doesn't have to come by truck. So I get
Yeah,
that too.
man. So I'm from an hour north of where I live right now. And I'm telling you, you move 1 hour south into Cajun country and the whole world changes. I mean, the food's phenomenal down here. It's unreal.
Oh, dude, it's my favorite. It's my favorite food in the world. It drives my wife nuts because I'm a spicy guy and a chili head and all that stuff. So the hotter the better
Oh
for
yeah.
me. I've actually eaten such hot food that I've scarred my esophagus, and so now if I do not chew a steak for 20 minutes every bite, it gets stuck. So, but yeah, Cajun food has won my heart. I think by the time I was 10, and
Nice.
yeah, it just nothing beats it in my opinion. I love seafood, and then you add the spices and the seasonings that the Cajuns throw in it, and man, it's heaven. So, well, man, so real quick while we're here, so guys, I'm Dwayne. This is Rise and Kill Outdoors. This is Chad Norman, Abide Outdoors. We're going to get into a little bit about you, Chad, here in a second. First of all, guys, I'm going to do my shameless promo. Go to riseandkill.com and pick you up a nice Rise and Kill shirt. Back of it says Rise, Kill, Eat. We got some other stuff there. We got some hats. I'm actually redesigning the hats, so I'm going to take them down for a second. Don't buy a hat. Don't buy a hat until like after this weekend. Which what's today's date, Chad? Today's like
Good question.
I don't
I
know.
couldn't even tell you,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully by the time this airs, the hats are fixed. But so go check it out. But I'm going to remove them here in a day or two. I just haven't had time to do it. But the shirts are great. Go buy the shirts. Go buy the decals. Support Rise and Kill Outdoors, guys. We're all about hunting and taking care of God's creation the way God intended it to. We're not talking hippie tree hugger stuff. We're talking about God gave us a job at the very beginning of everything, and that mandate never changed. He gave Adam the job to take care of everything that he created, even told him to go name the beasts. And Adam did a fine job of that up until the point he sinned. And then at that point, well, we are flawed on how we take it. Even though we're flawed on how we take care of nature, that mandate has never changed. It's still our job, still our purpose to take care of his creation the way he totally intended us to do so. So that's what this is about. It's about bringing young men into the fold of get them out in the woods and off the television screen and off the cell phones and off the Xboxes and the PlayStations, and getting them out in the middle of the woods and realizing that, hey, guess what? I am capable of doing these things. These instincts I do have within me. I've just got to quit being a weenie and get out here and do it. And that's all there is to it. And so that's what we're about. So now I've gave my spill. Chad, man, what's up, dude? Tell us about you.
Oh man. First of all, I love that spiel. I'm looking at your mandate and forces on the wall back there, trying to figure out what you got. I'm I'm kind of. You said being a weenie. I'm sitting here with a 22 in my pocket. That's what I got as far as the mandate enforcement. But no, I'm about outdoors.
Every
I am
squirrel is
a.
scared, man.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. There's a few of them out here. There's a few of them out here. But I'm about outdoors. It's a YouTube channel I launched probably now 5 years ago, which is amazing how fast that went. But man, I like you said, just trying to get outdoors, just trying to live outside. Uh, the title itself is Abide Outdoors, so that's the goal. It's just to simply, you know, um, learn the trades, learn the skills, get out there, have some experiences. Really, that's the gist of what I do is just have a good time and try to experience nature. Um, yeah, get off the internet, get off the phones, get off the PlayStations, man, and get out there in the real world and enjoy God's creation. And yeah, enjoy that mandate that He's given us. It is a joy to participate in it, and you get out there and make some memories, you find out how quick those memories last compared to whatever it is on the Xbox or the PlayStation that you may, you know, encounter. So yeah, nothing special. I'm really not that talented as an outdoorsman. One of my favorite insults I've ever got was from a buddy of mine. He said, "You are a way better theologian than you are outdoorsman," and I wear that with pride, man. And so I'm out here just stumbling around, fumbling around, you know. But I'm out here, and it's a great time. So that's all I am.
Amen, brother. Amen. Well, you asked
Yeah.
about these. So that AR-15, I actually don't remember what AR-15 that is. It's a cheat I can take out at night and run through the East Texas woods and not care about what I did to it. Along
Hmm.
with that night vision, it's not thermal, nothing like that. It's a $300 night
Yeah.
vision from Amazon, and it serves its purpose for I don't care, and it can kill a hog. This up here is my 308, and that's dropped every deer I've ever shot. Um,
That's awesome.
and I've had that for about 10 years now. So that's how long I've been hunting. So don't worry. I'm not,
Hmm.
I didn't grow up, grew up fishing with my grandfather, all that good stuff, but I didn't grow up a hunter. Um, always loved the outdoors, but never had the opportunity to hunt. And then finally I said, you know what, I'm going to make my way and I'm just going to go do it. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't understand. It's actually that simple. You don't have to
Yeah.
go and spend a crap load of money, none of that mess, man. It's not bad. Just get in the hunt and go find some public land, you know, and I think that's what you hunt a lot of. A matter of fact,
Yeah. Most.
uh, yeah, a
Yeah.
video
Go ahead.
you popped was it the last was it a small doe or a small buck you popped out of a tree
Yeah.
stand
It's small buck, little 5 pointer. Well, I shot a 5 and a 6 point this season. Both of them small bucks. But I'm you hunting with that 308. I've been trying to make the switch over to bow hunting, but what you're saying is exactly right, man. It starts with just whatever you got, and so I grew up hunting to some extent, but I didn't love it. So when I turned into an adult and got on my own, the first thing I did was hung it up and started sleeping in, and I was hanging out with buddies too late into the night, and but sometime around my 20s, early 20s, I rekindled the flame and got back out there and fell in love with it. And so I just picked up where I left off, and all I had was a shotgun. And I started shooting at some ducks, and that turned into, an occasional deer hunt, and then picking up a rifle here, and then, finally got into bow hunting, and then that's become the passion. That's what I love to do. And yeah, so
Hmm.
just one little thing at a time and slow and steady and finding, public land spots and just venturing out there and trying to figure out what they're doing. That's all I've been doing for the last probably 10 years, same time frame as you, about 10 years now. But yeah, so bow hunting's where it's at, man. I don't know if you got into that just yet.
No, actually, I've got a buddy of mine, Boaz, who's going to be on the show here sooner than later. And he's a big bow hunter. I think he does some
Hmm.
competition stuff. He's up in Idaho. And
Okay.
anyway, but yeah, he's a cool dude. And he's like I said, he grew up bow hunting with his dad. Actually, he would rather he's better with a bow than a rifle, I think.
I'm in the
And
same boat, man. Same boat.
and but yeah, dude. So I do that's something me and him's talked about is probably this year, maybe trying to venture into some bow hunting and get my first bow. I'm going to
Yeah.
try not to get made fun of and not go buy a crossbow, but I kind of want to go buy one just because I think they're fun. But
Hey, it
you
extends
kind
the
of
season by by almost 3, 4 months, bro. So if you start
yeah,
with a crossbow, do it just for the sake of having that lengthy season.
that extra that's my thought process, but you kind of neuter yourself amongst other bow hunters when you buy a crossbow.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm not even going to deny
but
it because yeah, it's
it's
true. It's
absolutely
true.
true, man. So
Yeah,
it's like buying a 6.5 Creedmoor for some reason. It's got there's the stigma behind the 6.5 Creedmoor, man, and it's like all of a sudden your man card is pulled and you might as well hunt in pink camo. So
I hear
it
you.
is
I
what it
hear you.
is.
Yeah,
So, but and anyway, man. So you do a videography, right? That's kind of
yes,
a
sir.
specialty of
Yeah.
yours too. So tell us that was when I went to Abide Outdoors, which is your YouTube channel, and I'll try to
That's
get a
right.
link below this. Um, This is mainly going to be on Rumble, but we're going to do YouTube too. But I'm really gearing up towards Rumble, just because of the censorship stuff. And so,
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
subscribe, click like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, and go to Rumble and do it there if you can. But anyway, so when I was watching these videos of yours, and like I said, the last one I watched was you shooting that 5 point. Um, and your intro and the music, and I mean, dude, it's gorgeous, man. It's
I
absolutely
appreciate
awesome.
that.
It does not look second rate whatsoever. I was sitting there going, this looks along the lines of what I would see, deer meat for dinner, or somebody, or meat eater, one of those guys.
Mm.
If it's not there, it didn't seem far away. I mean, you could tell you didn't have the whole camera crew, but as far as the quality, the audio, the look, it was great, dude.
Yeah, I greatly appreciate that, and all that's tied to, going back to what we're talking about on the front end. I am an amateur in the outdoors, to some extent. I've got some skills through the years, but honestly, I started all this on my own. My dad was a duck hunter. We grew up duck hunting, but as far as everything else, deer hunting and bow hunting has been self-taught, self-learned through YouTube, most likely. But man, that's where my love's at. Is I grew up in a neighborhood with about 10 to 15 guys, and we always watched. I don't know if I can say this on here or not, but the show Jackass, right? It was
No, you're fine.
it was it was a television series, and man, so we were always into filming and cutting up, and just stunts and all this. And so I really fell in love with the whole movie vibe, and have been toying with that forever. And so when my daughter was born in 2020, we were stuck in NICU in Houston for about 74 days,
Oh wow.
and I just needed something to pass the time, and I picked up a camera again and just started, doing some little films here and there, and it just kind of merged into this, and that's the part of it that I just love to do. It's a creative outlet, and when you're not that good at hunting, you got to sell the story another way. And so I've tried to use videography as my pitch, and what kind of makes me stand out in any sort of way. Again, you've said it already. I'm shooting these little bucks. I'm shooting less than a limit of ducks. I'm barely shooting squirrels. It's all public land, so it's tough stuff. But that's been
Exactly.
my pitch, is just trying to get the videography aspect of it up there, so that But then even with that has been the theology behind it. Just trying to do this from a Christian perspective. Trying to do this in a way that glorifies God, and I don't believe that um, just kind of low grade, or just doing it subpar is going to cut it. I don't think that's God glorifying. So really, I do just it is a hobby. It is not my primary. I don't even make any money off of it, but it is something that has been intentional. It's been something that I've tried to do well, and that's just one of the skills that the Lord has given me that I want to use wisely, and that's the videography aspect of it. So yeah, appreciate the compliments, man.
Yeah, man, no doubt. So they're really enjoyable videos to watch, and I hope you put a lot more of them out. I know when you've got a wife, you got a kids, you've got a job, you've got a church you got to take care of,
Yeah.
that you're pastoring at, and all these things, and it makes it hard to do these videos. There's no doubt about
Yes.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, people don't understand the editing side of it, especially when you're having to break down and set up and break down and set up and pause and go.
Hmm.
And I mean, a video like this, if I go and edit this video, and I'm hoping I don't have to edit much, and I don't think I will, but you could be there all day and then some, man. No doubt. If
Yeah.
especially if you're just breaking into the editing side of things, things
Yeah.
are getting a little easier with AI and stuff like. So that's helping out a little bit. But man, it's a monstrous thing
Yeah.
to
So this
tackle.
is for me. It is the last thing on my list of things to do. So first, I'm a husband, father, pastor, right? And all the things just that tend to at the house, just life. And this is the last thing on that list to do. And so it's not a priority. And I get to it when I get to it. Sometimes I have to short the clips, and just produce anything and just get it out there. But genuinely try not to just like rush anything, and put subpar content out there. but that's the reality of it.
Amen.
It's a timely process. I mean, it eats up some time. I don't think there's a video that I have that's not taken at least 20 hours in the editing process. It's just work. So yeah, but I do have to remember that in all this process, and I do hope to put out some more videos in the right timing. But yeah, it's last place. I'm not trying to get famous. That's always been the goal behind it has never been to make money. It's never been to get a mass following. It's literally been to capture memory and to really glorify God, and lastly to create opportunity. And stuff like this has been really cool. It's like I get to talk to Mr. Dwayne Charles from Texas. Uh, he's interested in what I'm doing. It's pretty awesome.
You just did everything you could do to avoid saying Waxahachie, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I cannot say that even after you say it. Yeah,
So I
yeah,
saw you Texas. So either you forgot or
yeah,
you were avoiding saying Waxahachie. So, but
yeah,
that's
yeah,
fine. That's fine. Everybody does. But anyway, man. So no, dude. Um, yeah, there's there is I tickled your ear a week or two ago
yeah,
about another video opportunity that hopefully we can make happen, going up to Arkansas. And from what I understand, there's a bobcat crisis up there, and you putting your videography skills into place with me maybe having a place that we can take out some bobcats. So that could be a lot of fun. Probably,
yeah, man.
maybe that can happen early fall, early to mid fall before deer season kicks off.
My
That would be
motto
pretty
is just
good,
say
wouldn't
win, bro. Just say win.
it? Yeah, just say when.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but so how do you said you got kids, right?
I do. I got a 5-year-old girl and a about to be 3-year-old girl in April. So two little
Okay, so two
girls.
girls.
Yeah, yeah.
Are they showing any interest in dad's hunts or
Not so much.
no?
That's kind of the
Man,
yeah that I bring him out as much as I can. My oldest likes to fish, and that's one thing that I'm still learning. If you've watched any of my videos and the fishing uh, aspect of it, it's pitiful. I wouldn't even deny it. Didn't grow up
really?
fishing. Never had a passion for fishing. Yeah, and the last 2-3 years have taken some interest in it and just bought some of the gear and tried to make it happen. And yeah, it's interesting to be 34 years old and just getting started in this stuff. Um, it's definitely a learning curve. Definitely a learning curve.
Yeah, dude. So I'm 45. And like I said, I grew up fishing. That's what I love to do. Just because it's easier to access than hunting. I
Yeah,
would
yeah, that
prefer
is
if I could
true.
hunt every day. If I could hunt every day, I would prefer to do that. And I don't get to fish near as much as I want to. Actually, I've got a 23-foot tri-tune. I've got a 10-foot, pond prowler. I've got a V-bottom John boat. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, and they go out a total between all of them about 6 times a year.
Mm,
So, but
yeah,
and
yeah.
but I'm actually redoing I'm actually redoing my pontoon boat right now, or getting ready to, because it's kind of it's kind of the normal, like any other pontoon boat, um just kind of too many seats in it and bench seats everywhere and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So I'm wanting to rip all the bench seats out, take the console out, make it a center console, put take the front fencing off, the back fencing off, swivel seats front, back, middle, and then one bench going down in front of the center console. So my wife is happy and she's got a place where her legs stretch out, and then underneath that, you got a place for my life jackets. Have the lean back seat on it with the cooler underneath for the to throw
Mhm.
fish in or whatever. And so that's my goal with
What
that
kind of
thing. So
fishing
I
do
hadn't
you
even,
do?
dude. It's crazy. I disappoint everybody. I'm a crop. I'll fish for anything. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah,
if I'm gonna go fishing, generally I'm going for crappie first, and then if I can limit out on crappie, then we'll go see what else we can get. But my goal is to fill my
I got
freezer
you.
with as much easy tasting meat as possible that tastes really, really good. You
Mm-hmm.
know, could I, I've got some good spots to go catch some flats, some flatheads and some blues and all that good stuff. And that's great and everything. But it's what I grew up with my grandfather. If Sandy's are
I got
running,
you.
I want to go chase sand bass though. I will say that just because
Mm-hmm.
when they're running, man, and they're schooling, and you can knock them suckers out here, you can knock them out. And then when you limit out, you throw a little bit heavier of a spoon underneath that sucker on it and try to drop down and get below them. And there's hybrids sitting underneath them, and then you can get some good fights. And so
Yeah,
that's a lot of
yeah,
fun. But yeah, man, crappie is where it's at for me. I like the crappie holes. That's why I've got my little 10-foot pond prowler, so I can get down to
yeah.
these back creeks and things like that, or wherever, and get in the crappie holes when they're spawning, and just waylay them when I can. So,
You got
matter
kids?
of
You
fact,
bring them with you?
well, mine are all grown, so I've got
I
we're
got
a
you.
split family. So I've got well, they're all my kids, but we're a split family. So I've got two sons, one mine, one step. That's both are 25,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've got a daughter that's 21, might be 22 now. No,
And any of
yeah,
them
she's
fishing
21.
with you?
They grew up fishing with me. They're not they never got heavy into fishing, whatever else. But that's okay. They love the outdoors. They love
Yeah,
they've got their own things. We do things but they're not weenies. I'll put
yeah.
it that way.
Right on. Yeah, yeah.
But
That's what I'm working on, man. I got a 5-year-old, and if I'm just being candid, 5-year-olds are just naturally weenie. So she's got to toughen up a little bit, but that's part of the
that's okay.
process. You know,
That's all right.
we're
So,
introducing her
but
into it, and my goal is to get her into camping. That's my first goal. She's been really digging the outdoor boys, so she's getting interested. We just
nice,
gotta pull the trigger
nice.
and get out there and make
Yeah,
an event happen. So
she's
yeah.
gonna be very disappointed when you're not camping in 10 foot of snow though in
That's
Louisiana.
right. That's yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a
But
rarity here
no,
for sure.
yeah, no kidding. But no, I did find out, and I'm excited. Uh, my stepson and his wife are having their first baby.
Yeah.
I just found that out a few weeks ago. Already went out and bought the first three. Yeah, it said 3 months and older. So, Fisher Price fishing pole.
My
That's already
man.
bought. There's already pop up hunting blinds for toddlers
Yeah.
in my Amazon basket.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all there, man. I'm thinking, the the little pop up blind and the little pop quirt rifle and a stuffed deer, and dude,
Mhm.
that's a playset.
Amen.
So,
Yeah,
and
that's good stuff.
as soon as that baby's done
You
pooping,
are embracing the pawpaw life already. Just buying a
dude, and
bunch of junk for the
and,
grandkids.
that's my name, Paw Paw. It's you nailed
That's
it
what I'm
perfect.
talking about.
So, but yeah, dude, I'm embracing it. Love it. I'm excited to bring a new image bearer into the family and teach them what
Mhm.
it's about and watch this young lady or young man develop into someone that glorifies God, as we all should be, man. And
Mhm.
and pass down some legacy and whatever I can. So as soon as this baby's done crapping its pants, it's going to be in a blind. And
Amen.
that's all there is to it.
Does it is it gonna be a little
But
boy?
I don't know.
Or don't
She's
know
only
yet.
eight
Yeah, don't
weeks.
know yet.
She's only eight
Yeah,
weeks,
okay.
bro. She's only eight
Yeah,
weeks. So
yeah.
yeah, we haven't got there yet, but I'm trying to convince my son to do the whole Tannerite reveal party thing and see if we can blow something up. She's not down with that, I don't think, but we'll see if we can
Of
get
course.
there.
Yeah, but you can
So
always have, yeah. You gotta have the rising keel reveal. So just keep
yeah,
whatever reveal she decides as a secret, and then do your rising keel. This is like the moment right here. Blow some stuff
that's
up.
true. I could just when I find out, I could get everybody, jacked up. That and then, if we, the viewers, and then just go blow something up myself if I need to.
That's what I'm talking about.
That always works. We
Yeah,
always need an excuse to go blow something up for some reason. So
always,
yeah,
always.
I
Yeah,
was talking to my aunt. My aunt lives in a little town in Oklahoma, and she is 73 or 74, I think. Sweetest lady you ever seen. Little town that I grew up in, Yuba, Oklahoma. And I was telling her, and we were talking. She's heard some booms, and I said that's probably tannerite. And she goes, "What's
yeah,
that?" I said it's legal explosive for rednecks. She goes, "Oh Lord." So,
yeah.
but
We've got
you know,
plenty of them around here, man. We hear it all the time. all the time. It's kind of wild. We're deep in the rural area out here in Louisiana, middle of
Yeah,
nowhere. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm
So
actually on a public
yeah,
road right now, and not the first vehicle has passed by. So that's how rural
that's
we
what I'm
are.
talking about. So yeah, what parish are you in?
We are Evangeline Parish. Um, I work in St. Landry, so this is
Okay,
kind of the heart of Cajun country, man. Just a little
yeah,
outside on the north end, but it's its own little, I guess, kind of branch of it all. But it's a sweet little place to live. It took me a long time to get used to it. You
hmm
definitely move down here and understand you're an outsider, but slowly but surely you adapt. And man, they it's a very warm climate, very social group of people, and they live to eat. So my biggest
oh yeah,
dilemma since moving down here has not been fitting in. It's been trying not to gain too much weight. So
yeah. No kidding,
it's a
dude.
good
They'll feed
time.
you. They will feed
Amen.
you. Are you
Yeah. I've
so?
learned how to
I'm
cook.
trying to think. Are you south of I-10?
No, I'm just north of I-10. Yeah. We're on the
Just
north
north of
side.
I-10. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I know you weren't
Yeah.
far from I-10 though. Up
Yeah.
down that way.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
wasn't sure. So I've only
Yeah.
been through Louisiana several times, but to say I can remember all the parishes and I know
Oh
about where you're
yeah.
at,
Look,
but
I've lived
yeah,
here my whole life. There ain't no way. Yeah. But I'll say this, man, is just on the topic of food. New Orleans gets the touristy vibe, right? And people love to
no,
eat New Orleans, but you move, just go west, get into Lafayette. Lafayette is where some phenomenal food is, but you get northwest of Lafayette, and you talk about some of the best cooking in the world, bro. And
mm,
I don't say that with a bias. I say that with genuine experience. I went and did a tour in Europe. We hit London and Paris and Florence and Rome. And I've been in South America. I lived in Guatemala for a little while. And I'm telling you, it is the best food in the world right here in Louisiana, right in the heart of Cajun country. These old men can cook, bro. It's unbelievable. So
mm,
my job has been trying to figure out how to cook. I come from a group of men. Uh, we weren't cooks, the ladies did all the cooking. It's your old school stereotype. And I moved down here, and these dudes are throwing down. It's like a competition as who can do it the best. And man, they do it the best. That ain't no joke.
very nice, man. Yeah, they don't play around, man. My sisters live in Foley, Alabama, which so
Okay.
just north of Orange Beach and all that stuff down that way,
Hmm.
and whatnot. But anywhere when you get, I'm gonna say you when you get east Lake Charles and east, and
Hmm.
then through Alabama in that area, you're gonna find it's hard. It's real easy to find good food.
Hmm.
That's all there is to
Yeah.
it. Just real easy to
Yeah.
find
You're
good
you're
food.
spot on.
There,
Yeah.
yeah. And man, dude. So all right. So you obviously you're shooting meat deer. If you're shooting 5 points and small bucks,
That's
you're
it.
you're
That's
you're
it.
trying to fill a freezer. Amen, brother.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't see a problem with that in the world. Um, what does Chad Norman do with the piece of backstrap?
Yeah. Well, that ties right into the conversation we're just having is learning how to cook. And that's a piece of meat you do not learn with. You don't waste that. You don't trial and error. And so we stick to Old Faithful, and we bacon wrap it, put it with some jalapeno, stuff it with some cream cheese, season it down real nice, put it on the pit, and that's the best way to do it. Or we fry it. We can do some fried backstrap stuff like that. uh, Really, you can't mess it up apart from experimenting with it. Just stay with the old
Mm,
faithful recipes, and man, it's good. It's learning how to manage the rest of it. That's been, you know, the the process of learning how to cook, and
mhm.
the process of wanting to shoot more deer so you have more meat. That's and so yeah, rice and gravy, man. I don't know if you've had some Cajun
Oh
authentic
yeah.
rice and gravy.
Oh
That's
yes. Yes,
You
sir.
can't beat it, bro. So yeah, I stick to the old faithful ways of backstrap, and the rest of it. The first thing I do with a deer now was there's a little Cajun sausage factory here. I don't want to call it a factory. This sausage smokehouse here in Eunice, Louisiana. It's called La Jean's. And the first thing I do each season is I shoot a meat buck, and I cut the back strap out, save it, and everything else goes to sausage. And that's
Okay.
my typical method. The next one,
So
um, back strap gets taken out. Maybe save it. We keep the tenderloins and maybe a cut here and there, specialty cut. But other than that, the next one goes straight to ground meat. So we do sausage and ground meat, keep the back straps, and then everything else is lanyard from there. So I try to get 2 deer down a year. For sure. And we do everything from making chili and spaghetti, just the sausage po' boys, the whole thing. That's our go-to. Keeps grocery bill down, and it's a good time.
are you keeping the heart?
Ah, you're gonna no.
Okay. I'm telling you right
Yeah,
now, start keeping the
yeah.
heart. Start keeping
Teach
the
me
heart,
some.
man. Yes, sir. So I always keep the heart every time, unless I've just blown it to smithereens, and
Yeah.
that's happened a
What
couple
are you doing
times.
with it?
But so I pan sear it. I use red wine and little rosemary, some other seasonings and whatnot. I have it all written down in there. Of course, you only get to do it once a year, once a couple times
Mm-hmm.
a year. So I can't remember all the seasonings and everything else, man. But I could find it and get it to you. But man, I'm telling you
Mm-hmm.
right now, you slice it down into steaks. You got the little valves. If you want to, you cut all that little bit of stuff out and everything, those heart valves and stuff out of it. But
Mm-hmm.
um, man, it is killer. It is really, really,
Mm-hmm.
really good, man. You're losing one of the best parts of the deer. I truly believe that when you
Yeah.
don't eat the heart. Um,
Yeah.
Also, I keep the livers. I keep anything like I can, and then I keep anything that as far as the entrails, things like that, and I'll soak them in just like I do catfish bait, which is my catfish bait is bar S hot dogs and Kool-Aid and garlic, and
Mm-hmm.
so like any entrails, things like that that I want to keep out of the of the innards. I'll take all that and soak it in the same thing, and I've used it for catfish bacon, and it works if you can keep the turtles off of
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but there's
Yeah.
a lot of useful things in there, man. You're. I know you're not from. Where are you from originally?
Yeah, I'm from a small town west of Alexandria, Louisiana. So it's dead center of the state. It's literally
Yeah.
referred to as Sinlaw, Central Louisiana. But yeah, I'm west of there in the Kisatchie Woods, born and raised, a little small town. Graduated with 30 of us at a public school, so middle of nowhere. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
but I bet, but what you're saying though, from where you were to where you are, it is a culture difference, isn't it?
Oh man, it's unbelievable. Yeah. So
Isn't that
for
crazy?
me, yeah, backwoods Louisiana. We grew up, your typical mashed potatoes, gravies, white gravies, lots of fried foods, biscuits,
It's just
that whole
Southern
deal.
cooking.
And you move south just 1 hour from where I'm from, and I discovered what tasso was and all these smoked meats at their specialties. It's unbelievable. There's in every gas station where I'm at right now, there's a meat market, and you just show up, and it's the best meat you've ever had in your life, just at your
Yeah.
local gas stations around here. It's a
Oh,
different
I know.
culture, man, and they pride themselves on food. So
Yeah.
it's a really a good time to.
Now you said you're set up for Gar, right? Right now.
Not yet, no. That so yeah.
No,
I mean, I've got my bow fishing set up. Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got your
it's
bow fishing set
right.
up with you in case you happen to see a gar swimming where you're sitting.
Yep,
But
I'm sitting here watching.
so do you have you had gar?
I've not eaten gar, and so that's actually one of my this coming season is one of the things I want to do is either shoot or hook into a giant gar, and the
Oh
goal
man,
would be after catching one is to cook and eat one. I've never had it, so
dude,
rumor
it,
is it's pretty good.
it's very good.
Yeah.
It's a good white meat. It's basically it's just like pulling a back strap off a deer.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a back strap, but it's whitefish meat. I
Yeah.
mean, but that's literally how it comes off. Just have a good pair of 10 snips, get down that back side of it, get down the ridge of the
Mm-hmm.
back, and I mean get up underneath there and it's just like skinning the skin back, except it wants to fold back in on you because it's very rigid and very stout and made to hold that shape.
Mm.
It's not pliable, but
Yeah.
like flesh is. But man, it's killer. I've cooked it a few times. Someone said I cooked it wrong because when it got cold, it got really really chewy. But
Uh-huh.
when it was
Yeah.
fresh, it was great. But it got cold
Mm.
and the flavor was there, but it got really chewy. So I got to figure out if I did do it wrong or if that's just what it does. But
I
man,
got you.
dude, I
I
love it.
got you.
I absolutely
So
love it.
fresh out the
But
grease, it's pretty good.
oh, dude, it's wonderful.
Hmm.
No doubt about it. It's a good eating fish.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
been one of my bucket list items to Hackberry, Louisiana. And me and a buddy were kayak fishing, and I saw this beast come out of the water and show his backside. It was probably, I'm gonna exaggerate. That's what we do, right? As outdoorsmen, it was probably a 7 foot gar, right? And man, ever since then, I was like, man, I can't even imagine what it would be like to hook into something like that and fight it. So,
mhm.
as someone, I've done some marsh fishing, some saltwater fishing, but the biggest thing I've hooked into to date is a redfish, and it was probably a 28 inch or 27 inch or something like that. And it
Yeah,
was a blast. So I just can't imagine, something triple in size or 4 times the size of that. Hook into that and fight it.
yeah.
So it's on my list of things to do this coming season. We'll see if it happens. I got a good little gar hole back here. That's where I'm set up right now. I've got my bow fishing kit set up, just sitting here, and I'm waiting on
Very nice.
the sun to set, and I might go after we hang up on this call, shoot at a couple things, see what happens.
They'd kill it.
But yeah,
Kill it. So that
yeah,
7 footer's in there somewhere. Go get him. So have the
yeah,
fight of
yeah.
your
We'll
life,
find
man.
him.
Have the fight of your life. But
Yeah,
it's good stuff, dude.
yeah.
So it's funny. They're out towards have you heard of Granbury, Texas?
I'm not familiar with it.
So Granbury's south of Fort Worth. Okay, probably
Okay.
45 minutes to an hour south of Fort Worth, and the Brazos River runs into it. Lake Granbury's there,
Mm-hmm.
and I launched out a few years ago out into the Brazos, probably about 4 miles west of Lake Granbury. For those who know,
Mm,
and as I was coming off, and this was right when we'd had all the rain, and Possum Kingdom Lake sits west of Lake Granbury. So I'm in the middle, closer to Lake Granbury, but in the middle of Possum Kingdom Lake and Lake Granbury. And they had been releasing the floodgates off of Possum Kingdom Lake. So the water was extremely high at that time. I'm out there trying to navigate this river for the first time in my pontoon boat. And man, it was pretty stressful because there was so many trees underwater that
mm,
normally weren't.
mm-hmm.
And man, trying to find the canals and where I was supposed to be, and the markers just weren't doing me right, man. It was messed up. But I remember going out the first morning out there, and I remember I'm looking down and I'm like, and I see the water rolling. And I'm like, what is this? I mean, the water's just rolling. And I look down and I go, and all of a sudden I see a few big scales
Mm,
on this one fish, and I went, holy crap, this is all gar. And I'm talking hundreds of them, and I was
mm,
not set up. I was so mad. So we went and did our fishing a little bit that day, and I immediately went back, and I didn't have time to set up a bunch of rigs and things like that, but I did have some braided line and stuff, that are line that you use on jug lines and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
And so where we were at, that pier had a little bit of the dock where we were docking the boat had a little bit of a drop off right there at the dock. So I tied up, and I don't know, I probably put 8 lines of some, I caught some brim and a couple other little small things and started making cut bait out of it instantly to have that for later, and started dropping that. Dude, I caught about a 10-12 pound guard, nothing huge, and then about a
Mm-hmm.
20-pound flathead that day. And off those lines that I tied up on that deal, man, that was the first time I had gar. But I'll tell you what, that was the first time I had flathead too. And that was the best eating fish I
Mm-hmm.
had ever had. I'm a crappie fan, man, but I think that beat the crappie for me.
I got you.
So,
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I've ever had flathead. I mean, apart from just some fried catfish, but it's not.
yeah,
I know it's not exactly the same. And I think
yeah.
it's good. I mean, it's a pretty, it's a staple around here. People frying up some catfish, and I've had that countless times, and I do like it. But I have heard that the flathead is significantly better. So, yeah.
Dude, that belly meat is almost like a sea bass. Have you ever had sea
Mm.
bass? Dude,
No, but
it just it
yeah.
It almost reminded me of that texture, and maybe I'm wrong because that's just what I remember from having sea bass. It's been a while,
Yeah,
but it was that belly meat was insane, man. And the jowls,
yeah,
the cheek meat, yeah, is get the cheek meat. If you get one big enough, always get the cheek meat, man.
yeah. So
That's
here's my
also
question:
first class.
how often are you getting into these adventures? How often are you going outside and getting into some catfishing or whatever?
Not as much as I want to, man. Not so
Yeah.
I've been working. So for the past year, I've been working on Rise and Kill Outdoors, designing my deer blinds, um, trying to put out the best quality. Which I'm in the middle of building my first blind right now. Everything
Hmm.
being hand built, 14 gauge steel, fully insulated,
Nice.
130 mile. Yeah, I mean the walls are 130-mile-an-hour impact rated. It's the same, building out of the same materials they build out on the coast to withstand hurricanes. So
Hmm.
when a tree limb slaps it, your blind actually has a chance to be still usable when it's done.
Yeah.
Monster liner coatings on the outside. I mean, these things are going to be insane, absolutely insane. The first model coming out, matter of fact, is called it's called the War Room, and I can't
Mm.
give any more than that out. But right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
because I do have competitors around me. Monarch Blinds is actually just down the road from me. They're a pretty big deal. And not that they're just really know about Rise and Kill Outdoors right now, but at the same time, we're a big area, but we're small enough area for people to still find out stuff. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so I'm trying not to let everybody know what I'm doing. It's been a long process. I really wanted to have a couple blinds out by now, and then every time I'd get a design and look at it and stuff, I nope, not good enough, and go back to the drawing board.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
and I finally know what I want, and I'm building, and so we're in the process of building that right now.
I got you. I got you.
So,
Yeah. So that's eating up a lot of your time, keeping you from you know getting out
mhm.
there as much as
Yep,
you'd like. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. My
Doing this, working
follow up
60 hours a
question
week,
would.
man.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Is why don't are you filming? Are you producing like any videos of you hunting and fishing? Are you doing that on the side, or is
No,
it
no,
just
no, not right now.
podcasting and
Not right now. Right now,
yeah,
right now, this is it. This is it.
yeah,
Talking to other hunters, learning about their experiences.
yeah,
Look, there's so many guys out there, and I can't compete with the videography that you do, and the
yeah,
time and
yeah.
the patience, and and deer meat, like the guys I mentioned earlier, deer meat for dinner,
I know it, man.
meat
Yeah,
eater, those guys. I can't compete with that. I can't compete with
yeah.
that. Um, so what I can do is set up a camera, build me a nice little studio,
Hmm.
and once a month come in here and talk to Chad Norman with the Bite Outdoors, and just let's talk hunting, man.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm wanting to do some tutorials along the way, small stuff like that,
yeah.
and then maybe once the company's up and if everything's working and I can go out on my own one day and be my own employer, then
Right.
yeah, absolutely, man, I would be definitely game for that. So but right now, me sitting in my deer blind on our family land, fighting off Black Angus fighting Black Angus, hoping they'll go away.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not very
yeah,
entertaining. So I mean,
yeah, dude.
that's just the truth of it.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the primary reasons I wanted. So of course I want to glorify God in everything I do, and I want there to always be that theological bend to my work, right? But that's really what I've tried to build from, as you said, the word competing. Is I am very much aware that I'm never going to be meat eater, and I'm never going to have the deer that you know the hunting public's putting down. So what is it that I can offer to the world? Because this has been my conviction from the get go. Is I never just want to be a consumer. I want to contribute to the market that I enjoy. And that's been one of my
Right.
big kind of goals in all this. And so my question was, what can I do to sort of stand out, to be a competitor in this field? And that has been my solution. It's I want there to be this clear theological bend. I really want there to be a gospel presentation to almost every work that I produce, and kind of work those themes into it, and really just be an encouragement to the community. I know there's a lot of guys in the Christian community that are hunters, But I really noticed there's a increase, an uptick in reform guys in this community, and so I really wanted this to be robust theologically. But the hard part is, and I can admit this, is it's hard not to be cheesy. That's been the biggest part, and I'm like you. It's
Yeah,
like in the same way you're looking at building blinds and trying to you get to the end of that drawing board and you say not good enough. That's been my routine kind of conclusion of each video. Not good enough. Too cheesy. Too lame. Right? Not enough action. But yeah, I mean that's. I think what you said there is actually useful. Is in a weird way, even though we do this for the joy of it, we're doing this as side hustles and hobbies. There is a competitive aspect to it, and I think that's healthy and good. I think that's part of what you're where we started all this, and just taking dominion, being men, striving, competing. A lot of like I don't say competing even in a bad light. It's actually just getting out there and competing in the sense of like it's good competitive play, fun. It's just what we do as men, and it's healthy. So yeah, I'm grateful for this opportunity to be on a podcast and to to get our voices out there because hey, we're part of this community too, right?
absolutely, man. Absolutely, no doubt about it. And it's crazy because like I said, you're what 34, 35? Is that what you said?
That's right, 34. Yeah.
Okay, so I was roughly the same age. Like I said, 10 years. I'm 45 right now. Um,
Mhm.
so I was roughly the same age, give or take, when I picked up my first rifle and said, "Okay, let's go hunting." And I remember
Mm.
for years I didn't see nothing because I was making all kinds of mistakes, didn't have anyone
Yeah.
to learn from. But what I figured out through all that and those mistakes was even though I was coming away empty handed year after year,
Mhm.
there for a while, I was getting to see things that I never saw before from a different aspect. Now, I grew up in the country.
Mhm.
I'm a country boy, growing up in Yuba, Oklahoma, but I never sat still in a sunrise, and I never sat
Yeah.
still in a
Yeah.
sunset, and I never sat still out in the middle of the woods in the middle of the night and listen to the coyotes sing and call them in
Yeah.
and when you learn to sit still and especially as a Christian man, and you
Mhm.
watch God's creation wake up, and you watch it go to sleep, and then when God's creation goes to sleep, and you stay through the night sometimes because you're waiting to see if now hogs will come in or call a coyote or two or whatever, and you see, even though it's pitch black dark, all of a sudden you hear new life wake up,
Mhm.
and you hear this beautiful song in the distance of the coyote, whatever it is, man. It's absolutely amazing. It floored me when I started realizing what I'd been missing out. That was so awesome. That can beat any piece of
Yeah.
technology that's so much more advanced, so much more smarter, with thousands of years of instincts bred and built into it, not millions, thousands. But you see what I'm saying here, and it's absolutely
Yeah. Yeah.
wonderful.
Absolutely.
And and you know and and I, I, and it's like, my God, I'm sorry I delayed, you know discovering your creation. I'm sorry. Please forgive me for thinking the Simpsons were the coolest thing when I was a kid, or
Yeah.
Mario or whatever. Forgive me for thinking that man was doing it better. You've been doing it better all along. And so many people don't realize that God has created something so much more advanced than all these new AI data centers going in, and
Mhm.
nothing will ever touch it. Nothing
Yeah.
man can create can
Yeah.
touch what God has already done in his design. And hopefully, Rise and Kill Outdoors and Abide Outdoors will be a part of helping people realize what God has actually done for us, in
Yeah.
his creation. you know
And
um
that's I mean, just tying it back to the idea that we just touched on is competition. Uh, Being out there and challenging nature itself is the
mhm.
greatest competition you can ever enter into. Not only is it just like it's provoking, it's a chess match with the animal, whichever
Yep.
piece of game you're pursuing. but it's paired with not only challenge but beauty, and I'm so glad you brought that into it because that's exactly like what makes it so enjoyable. It's not always just, if we went out there and did and mastered it and harvested an animal every single hunt, it would get boring. But there's a difficulty level, and mixed with the difficulty is all of this infinite beauty. And
Mhm.
I,
Yeah.
I'd be remiss to not mention, like, with the beauty, there's also the difficulty and the curse. There's thorns and thistles, and the whole time you're out there, you come to understand that this whole thing is trying to kill you. And so there is it's beauty, it's fear, it's competition, it's pleasure. It's this whole amalgam of an experience that's just wonderful at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I have a little Jack Russell Terrier named Indy.
Hmm.
Okay. She's probably, I think she's fixing to turn 2. And I got her because she's easy to take trips with, and I like spunky dogs, and my wife likes small dogs. So it was kind of a great mix for my wife and I. And, of course, Jack Russell's extremely active. They're halfway psycho.
Hmm.
But they're bred for hunting dogs. And out of foolishness, I haven't been taking her out into the pasture like I should be, and I play catch with her up in the yard. I run her, all that. She gets her energy out. But over the past couple of days, I've been taking out in the pasture and down to the creek bottoms and all
Hmm.
that stuff and everything else. And all of a sudden, we came across an armadillo hole.
Hmm.
Well, Jack Russells are designed to go down in armadillo holes. Well, here's this 2-year-old dog who's never seen an armadillo hole, and she instantly, as I'm walking by it,
Hmm.
she stops and she turns. And I mean, most dogs get curious about whatever smell they see, but this was different.
Hmm.
Her hair raised,
Yeah.
her front paw went up, and she was trying to understand what she was supposed to do with this hole. It was bred into her.
Yeah.
And this,
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say this, gentlemen, it's bred into you.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just go. She doesn't understand what that hole is yet completely, and she's a little nervous about it. But I took her back out there again today, and I'm going to take her back out there again tomorrow. And I'm probably not going to let her tackle this hole because it's a little too much for the first time on an armadillo hole, because they can go like they can have 5 chambers. She can get lost down there.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
but but I'm gonna let her be curious about it until we can find a hole she can get into. And but what I'm trying to say is, just as like it's bred into her, it's bred into every single
That's
man.
right. That's right.
Some aspect or another. You are a son of Adam.
Hmm.
It's in your genealogy. You have dominion of God's creation. It is your mandate. Yeah, I get it. It's new to you because no one showed it to you. You're going to be nervous. You're going to be hesitant. Do
Oh
it
yeah.
anyway. It's just
Yeah.
fine, guys. It's just fine. And on that note, man. So, well, I'll tell you what, it's been just a really awesome conversation. We're getting here to the end of this, man. We're running out of time, Chad. Do me a favor, though. I'm going to throw you on the spot a little bit real quick.
All right.
Um, One thing I don't think we should leave without. We've talked about God's creation. We've talked about the mandate, and that's what we're going to talk about. Just that's going to be our main topic here. And but do me a favor, real quick, man. Give us the gospel.
Okay. Yeah. So, being that we're emphasizing nature, I think one of the greatest mistakes we often, you know, run into in presenting the gospel would be beginning with creation. And the gospel actually precedes creation. And that is because it is God Himself who is creator. And so we have this infinitely holy, righteous God who is triune, which means He's three in one. And in the fullness of who He is, in that relationship in Trinity, they he sought out to create a world, not because he's lacking, not because he's needy, not because he's pathetic or puny, but because he's that awesome. And out of the love in that triune relationship, creation is set forth, and God spoke and things came to be out of the power of just a word. And all of it, 6 days, unfolds before him, and he concludes with that wonderful benediction: it is good. and mankind is there, and he says it is very good. And yet, with all creation in unison proclaiming, "Yes, Lord, as you have commanded it, let it be," it is that yes, that pinnacle of creation, man, that says, "I'm not going to obey." And all of
Mm.
this wonderful, beautiful, perfect creation uh, begins to fall under the curse. And God, in that rebellion, issues curses, and the whole thing unfolds with thorns and thistles. And so, while there is this remaining beauty that we even today get to experience and walk in, it is a cursed world that we're in. And so we're we're seeing clearly, right now in the manifestations of this broken world, that there is a real curse that we encounter, but it's not the end of the story. And that's why
Amen.
it's good news, right? So we see bad news and then we look for the good news. That's what gospel means. And, as creation unfolds and the curse expands, there's a point in history where it seems like darkness has won. It seems like the curse has reached the ends of the earth and overcome. And it's that perfect moment in which God says to his son, "Go," and Christ Jesus comes and lives out a perfect life and dies a sinner's death, right? And so
Yes, sir.
the curse in its fullest form, which is death, and confronts the Son of God in flesh, and Christ Jesus faces him head on like a man and goes to the cross and takes the full wrath of God, the full extent of the curse in that moment, and he dies. And it seems like all hope is truly lost at that point. And yet, the beauty would be in just 3 days, he resurrects, overcoming the curse. And where we see in that moment, the curse itself is broken. And and
Praise God.
the curse is like I always picture it like a hurricane. Is Christ Jesus comes as the eye of the hurricane, this calmness in the middle of the storm, but he is in his resurrection an ever increasing eye. It's constantly pushing back the storm, constantly pushing back all the curse. And so, yeah, so in resurrection, we see the curse is broken. We see that Christ is king. And for all those who trust in him, this terrible curse that we come into conflict with even today is pushed back and overcome. And we just simply rest and trust in Christ Jesus. So that's my put on the spot gospel with a creation emphasis.
Amen, brother. Amen. No
Yeah,
problems with it, man. No problems at all.
yeah.
Well, guys, my name is Dwayne Charles. We've been chatting with Chad Norman with Abide Outdoors. I'm going to put a link below for his YouTube channel. And of course, that's about Abide Outdoors. That's all they got to text into the YouTube. They'll find
That's
you
it.
there,
That's
right?
it. Yes, sir.
And man, I want to appreciate it, dude. This is our first episode, and I'm so excited to have you here on Rise and Kill Outdoors, risingkill.com. Go get you a t-shirt, go get you a sticker, and hopefully I got those stinking hats fixed so I can cover my bald head for the next episode. But anyway, guys, God bless, man, and may your hearts be full of Christ. May your freezers be full of meat. And if that's the case, your home will always be filled with joy, guys. God bless.
Rise and kill outdoors. Rise.